All right. Now let's move on. Let's move on. All right. We got questions and comments. Our first Q&A. I'll do my best to make sure I answer your questions. It's another How We Rock segment right here, but I'm gonna do this one. Right now, my boy in a little pain right now. So one time for How We Rock, show some, send some love to How We Rock. Feel better, my brother. Okay, we have Ralph Anderson, K4X, commented on how bad is we really. That news is kind of disturbing. I hope these young kids don't keep being affected by her THC levels. I can't believe in the 90s DEA talking about 4% THC. the weed back the weed back down would get me high as gas. I guess you're saying the weed back then would get me high as gas. I don't even think I ever been that high since. Comes down to using responsibly. Crackheads don't use responsibly. Very true. I never want to be a crackhead, but marijuana I smoke till the day I die. Thanks for all the hard work and research that you do to get us this information. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Ralph Anderson. Okay, we have. Listen, I don't want to butcher your name, Konoronak. Con Conoro. You know what? Let me. I butchered it. I butchered it once already. I'm not gonna do it again. I know the thing will pop up, but he. So many people believe cannabis lies. If they would just try it, very true. Not not keeping, not keep using it necessarily, and just a little bit, they will see the harmlessness it really is. The only harmful is our Nazi control over people's government and the total idiots that support them. Our only hope is the majority of the world will soon wake up, and I mean way past current half awake woke crap. Alright, I feel that. You know, and then some people do try it and they realize it's not so bad. And they don't necessarily need to smoke it. They can have the tea, the soda, like in the episode earlier. I mean, earlier in the episode. But there's other ways. The infused meals. That's why I have the cooking with cannabis. You know, people who can't really smoke it or don't like the to smoke have options. You know, and I try to keep everybody informed with you know, with all the information. And that was a comment under what's going on in Thailand now, cannabis news, laws, and updates. Also commented on that was Derry Howden, 1948. Yeah, I thought it had developed to the situation highlighted by your reporter. Still, an election to come, who knows? There you are, absolutely right. You know, if this descheduling happened, we all us advocates, marijuana smokers or supporters need to go run and to those ballots. Um, I'm trying to keep a close eye on what's going on with the descheduling because that's very important. Um, yeah, but thank you, Gary. And our final comment is by Sean85 Lane. I want to know why medical grade is not legalized for recreation. And the only crime is indicas and, and indicas not being indicas and labeling fake weed as real weed served out by law in prison for wasting people's time. You want to know why medical grade is not legalized for recreation. Well, in some ways it is. You have to have a weed card or weed pass or something from a doctor saying that you need that. So, medical grade is well, not for necessarily recreational, but that's a good question because most people with the weed card are have it for a pain or it, it, it helps them feel better for whatever thing they're dealing with, whether that be anxiety or I can't sleep. But yeah, well, we all know people with those cars are serving it for recreational, so you can't, you know, gray area. Thank you, Sean 85 Langley. Um, and the only crime is indicas not being indicas and labeling fake weed as real weed served out by life in prison for wasting people's time. Yeah, fake weed is something to be aware of. You know, me and Howie was doing the strain spotlight, and there was like two strains I came with. He was questioning, I think it was the strawberry shortcake and not Gorilla Glue. Was it Gorilla Glue? It was something else, but yeah. Be careful out there, people. They're spraying terpenes on marijuana. Be very careful. Don't just smoke anything. Do your due diligence. And I think we had on one of the earlier episodes where it was showing you that the pre-roll stuff are cheap. So be very careful with the cheap pre-roll. Not all pre-roll. This episode, you're gonna have to go back and check that out. Okay, new subscribers are Ron Privet, Bajino Andere, and Danny Bites the World. Photo. You'll see it pop up. Says, wonder how many murders happen while someone is drunk versus high. Very true. Ralph Anderson, K4X, commented, just legalize the herb, Trump. Bring that VA new law. Virginia Beach, VA. One time for Virginia Beach. Thank you, Ralph Anderson, dash K4X, for subscribing. Jermaine Martinez says, keep grinding, Red. That's our questions and comments. Our Q&A, questions and answers. Thank you for everybody for leaving your comments down there. Like, share, subscribe. Got any more questions with this episode? Just leave it down low.